Welcome back, guys. We are continuing on with these Mechabellum 1v1 replays, and I'm showing this replay more because it was very confusing to me, and not necessarily because it's a great battle. Now, at the time, I was convinced that there was a bug going on, or if not a bug, then a delay in what was happening in the visuals compared to what was happening in the mechanics. So I will elaborate when it happens as to what it is that I'm talking about. But for now, we are going quick supply with Crawler and Mustang. And the opponent is going for Steel Balls, Crawlers and Giant Specialist. So a mistake that I make quite often is overcommitting on the Mustangs. And I believe I'm about to do the same thing, yep. So having too many of one unit just makes it very easy for the opponent to counter. So this was probably a mistake, going for 4 Mustangs off the bat. It's alright having 4 Mustangs towards the end of a battle, but starting off with 4 of the same unit is not really advisable. But Mustangs are very good damage dealers if they don't have the correct counter. So things work out really well for us at the moment. So another one of the abilities that I like is this mass-produced wasp, because having reduced HP on a wasp doesn't really make that much difference, because they already have low HP, so having even lower doesn't really affect them that much. So I go for mass-produced wasps. At the time, he didn't have any anti-air, but unfortunately, just as I bring in these mass-produced wasps, he brings in Mustangs, so he got the counter before he even saw my hand, so that was a bit unfortunate. But I'm going for a flank with the wasps. Wasps are a very good unit to flank with them having the shield ability. They're a very good frontline counter, and then put some ground units behind them. So we managed to get the flank off over here. So another nice easy victory in this round. So we're chewing through his HP really fast. Now this is where the problems start for me, and this is what I didn't realise. I've never taken this charged ammo before, so I've never really read what it does. So it's electromagnetic interference, so it basically stops the opponent's abilities. So anything on here is going to get cancelled if they get shot by that unit that's got this equipped. Now this is where my confusion started coming in. because I'd never really used this and because I'd never really seen anybody else use this, I didn't really pay attention to what it was or what it did. So this is the unit that he's got it on. So it doesn't happen in this instance, but this is the culprit to my confusion, which I will show later on. So it looks like I've gone for some crawlers to back up the wasps. Probably not a good choice with him having mustangs. I should have gone for an arc light. And I'm getting a bit one-sighted here, tunnel vision, going for more mustangs. Because things are going so well, I'm not diversifying at all. So because he still hasn't got the counter on the board, things are still going really well for me. Now, I didn't want to go for Vulcan's Descent because of the steel balls that he's got. And I probably shouldn't have gone for the Rhino either, but I think I went for the Rhino. So he's gone for the Vulcan's Descent, and he's popped it down here, so that's going to do a lot of damage to my Mustangs. If he hadn't have gone for this, it's quite possible I could win the round right here, win the battle. But because he went for this, I think he's probably going to chew through too many of my troops for me to be able to do enough damage to win the battle right here. So I just focus on upgrading everything because I know he's got the armor ability on his steel balls, which I'm fully expecting him to use because that is what the counter to these Mustangs is, and it's also the counter to the crawlers. So I've got replicate on the crawlers just to harass them for longer, let the Mustangs have more time to do the job. So he managed to wipe out a lot of my units there, and he also pulled them away from the front, which meant that these units on the side had a rough time as well. So because I went for a crawler on the flank instead of an arc light, the Mustangs survived. Yeah, this battle would have been over if he hadn't brought in the Vulcan's Descent, I think. And here is where the confusion begins. And this is where I lose the plot entirely because I'm so busy focusing on the confusion and not the battle itself. So I decided to go for mass produced rhino because I'm gonna go for suicide rhinos. So mass produced rhino, suicide rhinos is a very good counter to steel balls. So steel balls are rhino's nemesis, but if you use the suicide rhinos, then they kill each other basically. And so that deals with our main threat, because the main threat to our comp is basically Mustang. So steel balls with armor enhancement is the threat, so that's why I went for suicide rhino. Now this is the point where this electromagnetic interference is going to stop him from detonating. Now the reason that there was confusion is because you still get the optical display of him exploding. You just don't actually get the effects of the display. So it looks as if it should work, but it doesn't work. And so I'd completely forgotten about this item that he'd put on there. So as you can see here, he should have exploded and killed virtually his entire army. But he didn't kill anything. And I was so bloody confused that I spent the entirety of the remainder of the battle trying to figure out what on earth was going on and if it was a bug. And yeah, basically things go rather terribly from this point onwards because I'm not focusing on the battle itself. So that one tiny little item that costs 50 has just basically won the battle for him. Sorry if that's a spoiler. But this is more about the confusion, less about the battle itself. So yeah, at this point I'm not even looking at these choices. I'm looking around, seeing what on earth is going on, clicking on all of these, seeing if I could see electromagnetic shot, sorry. And I just completely forgot about this item. So yeah, at this point I'm running out of time and I still haven't even started looking at these. So I chose photon emission, which is the worst possible choice, just because I was panicking about the time. And I brought in fortresses, which is the worst possible thing to bring in, because steel balls will just melt them. If I'd have just doubled down on the suicide rhinos, if I'd have known that this was the cause, I could have wiped out all of these and some of these over here. And then I would have obviously not built fortresses. I would have built some, I don't know, I'm not quite sure what I would have built, but I definitely wouldn't have built fortresses. So yeah, once again it exploded and didn't kill anything, and I'm so busy focusing on what's going on over here, why it's not killing anything, that I lost the plot in this battle. Yeah, I completely lost the plot. And at this point he's got the armor enhancement, so my Mustangs aren't doing anything to the steel balls anymore, and he's just melting through the fortresses. So yeah, terrible battle for me, this one. But I thought I'd show it anyway, just to try and help anybody else who might fall for the same confusion that I fell for. So yeah, I've just gone for orbital bombardment because I'm panicking at this point. The battle should have been over if it wasn't for this Vulcan's descent. And yeah, I'm a little bit stressed out at this point, trying to figure out what's going on. I put a shield over the rhino just to give me more time to watch what's happening. Oh dear, it was just a complete shit show. So it looks like I sold the rhino over here because I couldn't understand why the explosions weren't working. It's because he was going, this unit was going over and shooting the rhino, so this one wasn't exploding, this one wasn't exploding. I hadn't even looked to see what was happening with this one. I was just so bloody confused. So I try to rescue the battle with overlords, but it's a bit too late to start trying to bring in counters, level 1 counters at this point. So yeah, all I really needed was Stormcallers. Or maybe even just Phoenixes. So yeah, that was the disaster with the charge shot item. So I thought I'd show it, but not one that I'm proud of. Charged ammo. So I'll be on high alert and anytime I see this charged ammo from now on. But it is what it is. I don't mind losing. You expect to lose practically half of the battles that you fight because you're facing opponents of the same skill level as you. But when you lose to confusion, that one hurt. That one hurt a lot. But anyway, that was this battle. Hopefully the next one will be a little bit more conventional. So yeah, cheers for watching, take care, and I shall see you in the next one.